What's going down, everybody? If you haven't heard, I've got my ebook called Painting Trading Cards by Ryan Paneff out now. If you want to learn about altered art cards, if you want to see my process, my tips, my tricks, if you want to learn how to alter cards yourself, or if you're just interested in the history and the cultural impact of alters on games like Magic the Gathering, head on over to commandercookout.com. Pick up your copy today. You'll learn lots. You'll pick up a new hobby. You'll refine your current hobby. And in doing so, you're going to support all the stuff we do here at the Commander Cookout Media Group. Big thanks.
Hey, this is the Commander Cookout Podcast, episode 456. I'm Brando. I'm here with Ryan, and today we're going to take a ride in the Haunted Mansion. Now, hit our theme song! Ryan, you're back for yet another whirlwind adventure. How you doing?
Good. What is going down? I'm back.
A whole ton is going down. Ryan is back. We've got a new set to talk about featuring, I assume, Eddie Murphy in some way. We've got some stories to tell, some people to thank. But before we get to any of that, we have to thank our official business daddies, FusionGamingOnline.com. They are your source for all your gaming needs. And Pile of Bones Brewing Co. They're the second coolest thing to come out of Regina, as well as the official beer sponsor of CCO Sidewalk Slam Season 2, right here on YouTube.
Yeah, oh man, lots to unpack. First thing, big thanks to the business daddies. Over the last couple weeks, FusionGamingOnline.com, I did a little bit of retail therapy.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, what did you get?
I got some borderless fetch lands.
Yes.
And some of those horizon lands for my dredge deck that I talked about last week. Because after getting some encouragement from some members of the nation, I've decided to just go full scumbag and fuck you about it.
Yes, sir. Well, that's sometimes what you have to do. Did you get a discount when you checked out?
I sure did. CCO summer promo code. I saved myself 5% off that shit that I was gonna buy anyway.
There you go. That's easy. It's like CCO Summer. Type it in, check out, save money. You're gonna spend the money anyways. If you're from Canada, you're gonna be buying Duskmourn anyways. There's so many cards from this set that I want. Listen to us sound like the Command Zone. Hey, I'm so excited for all these things.
Okay.
But actually, I am excited about many cards in Duskmourn that we're going to be talking about over the next few weeks.
Yeah, no, me, this set sucks.
Oh, yeah, I hate everything.
Yeah.
Okay, see you next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I can walk away. Yeah.
You're not going anywhere,
Yeah,
Ryan.
no,
You're stuck here forever.
I'm stuck in the House of Horrors. So we're here. Big thanks to Fusion. Check them out. CCO Summer going to get you discount. CCO Perks, if it's your first time and you're going to spend over $100 like getting a booster box, CCO Perks promo code, you're going to get store credit kickback there. Pile of Bones. We were just at Pile of Bones. It was so awesome.
Wait, is that how that happened?
Yes.
How far in the future are we right now?
Next week.
Holy shit.
Because this week is Regina stop on the CCO tour.
That snuck right up on me.
Oh, yes.
I'm glad it did, because we had the best time.
Yes,
Hell
sir.
yeah.
We got Pile of Bones t-shirts, but forgot to wear them today. And we drank lots of Pile of Bones beer, and it was fantastic.
That I definitely recall doing, yes.
You played lots of pinball and had a great time.
I sure did.
Yes, we stayed at Keel's, and he made us breakfast in the morning.
Yeah. I love that guy.
And he didn't even leave me any hickeys.
Yeah, and we hung out with Leo, that's his cat.
Yes, sir.
And Rusty Trom Jones, who also came in from Vancouver, and some of our other...
Oh, no, Rusty Trom Jones did not come in.
Didn't he?
No, it was too much hassle for one day.
Oh, I thought he came in. Well, who was that guy I was talking to the whole time then?
I don't know.
Man, Regina's got some...
Yes, sir.
Got some freaks.
You don't need to finish that sentence.
Freaks and peaks in Regina.
Hey, big shout out to producer Gary and the Dufferin Avenue Media Network Studio. We're in it today. And you guys stepped up. Lots of people commented and liked and did all the stuff that YouTubers ask for and want. And there was a lot of discussion in the Discord. I got a ton of get wells and well wishes for my broken leg, and it was awesome to not have to worry about that portion of my life that has been so dominated for the last 8 years.
Yeah, so you got me and Gary. We see now you realize that we will step up and that we're dope, and you don't have to worry so much.
Oh, well,
just because we're the same person, and you know.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, you two are the fucking same.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So, anyways. Big thanks Big thanks to the Patreon supporters, patreon.com/CCO Podcast. No better time than ever because now that Regina's over, and I'm crammed in for the Command Fest Toronto, which you should definitely get your VIP tickets to because they're going to sell out, and it's the Duskmourn launch weekend. There's going to be scary movies, and I'm hosting the launch party, hopefully from a wheelchair if the hotel has one. And it's going to be tons of fun. Code CCO to save yourself some bucks and get a nice little gift from me. Usually it's like sleeves, deck boxes, but I'm totally going to sucker face-to-face games into giving me some really good stuff to give away.
Sick.
Yeah. So if you're in or around like the Brampton and I think Brampton and West Toronto or anywhere in Toronto area, Command Fest September 26 to 29. Come dusk it up with me.
That's next weekend.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
You know what?
I have no idea. Mm-hmm. What's coming up, though, and why it's important to become a patron is because we got the CCO Experience Calgary.
Yeah, we do.
I've been forced to upgrade it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, everybody's been calling it that because people are coming from all over, like Vancouver, all over Alberta, Saskatchewan. People are coming up from the States, and they're like, oh, yeah, we need to get to know who's going to be the cooks and who's going to drive. And I'm like, oh man, this is turning into a whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's what we were saying. Have you not been watching the show? Me and Gary talked all about how it's going to be the best thing ever.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. See, it's really easy to sign up Ryan to do stuff when he's not here.
Yes.
Because he can't say no. And since we did it 2 weeks in a row and it's on the internet, it has to be real.
Yes.
And now it's happening.
Yep.
So thanks, guys, because it's going to be a lot of fun.
Very much so. This is how it works. Patreon.com/CCO Podcast. You pledge any dollar amount. That'll get you into our Discord. And the Discord is where all the planning happens. All of the planning commences kind of sort of after the previous one is done. So when Toronto's done, I'm full-fledged on who's bringing packs, what prizes and merch they're going to be, who's going to drive from like our crew, who's going to do the booze and the food and the cooking and all of the stuff for the championship weekend. And you know what? Over and above like Commander Cookout and CCO Nation, like being part of this and liking this and our community coming together to do these things and have fun, retailers across Canada have noticed.
Yeah,
and
buddy.
That's really freaking cool, you guys. Like face-to-face games is the WotC partner that does the Canadian tour that feeds up to the Pro Tour and stuff. Lots of people here know that, or everybody here knows that. And like talking to their management and their events people and talking to retailers like Fusion Gaming and all of the other retail partners at these face-to-face events. Oh yeah, I saw the CCO guys here, or oh, it's cool that you guys do this, or how do we get in on the house next time? Other creators are like, how do I stop in at your house and like jam games and make content and stuff with you guys? Like other people are noticing, and that's freaking cool.
That's pretty neat. So it's all on you guys for doing that. Yeah.
Yeah. Super cool stuff. So I don't know. I wanted to talk about that a little bit. And last thing I got.
Okay.
Speaking of the Calgary thing. The Calgary thing. We had a gentleman by the name of Steve email us talking about the cEDH 5K that was in Vancouver. Remember in Vancouver, everybody was hyping up this cEDH 5K like all weekend, because it was happening on the Sunday.
Yeah.
And then I did a little bit of an interview that never saw the light of the day with the winner. And face-to-face games gave away like $5,000 in prizes for the cEDH tournament.
Holy shit.
It dominated Sunday, and that's all anybody was talking about.
Dang.
Well, they're doing it again in Calgary. And you know how hyper-competitive the Calgary crew is.
Oh my God, yeah.
We not only want to try and break a record for most numbers of pods in a day for Commander, which we have routinely facilitated.
We've done that several times.
But we want to make this cEDH 5K like the talk of the frickin' town.
Yeah.
And
do we have to plan it?
Not if you don't want to.
Talk of the town, baby. Woo!
Well, if you don't play in it, though, you got to play sealed.
Oh, fuck me. All right, well.
All right, get your cEDH deck.
Right,
no, I'm just kidding.
It's Mux o'clock, baby. Here we go.
But Calgary is like the cEDH hub in Western Canada. At least that's how I look at it.
It's Yes.
I can barely turn around in Calgary without finding somebody to play cEDH with. Not that there's no casual, right? But there's lots of cEDH. And I wanted to mention that because I think if we can kind of drum up enough interest and hype that and make people excited for it, it helps it be successful. And ultimately, when things are successful, that's how more things in Canada happen. Yeah. It's how we eventually get a Magic Fest or a Magic Con, right?
That isn't in frickin' Toronto.
Well, it'll probably be in Toronto, let's be honest.
Or Vancouver.
It won't be in Vancouver.
It could be in Vancouver.
It won't be in Vancouver.
I like Vancouver. There's a beach.
There's beaches in Toronto.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, they're nude beaches, like right across the way.
No way.
Yes way.
I don't believe
there are schlongs and boobs out everywhere.
They're not even on the ocean.
I thought you were going to say they're not even big. Not if you're not there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tiny schlongs on the ocean.
Duskmourn.
Jumbo shrimp, baby.
That's what they call you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm Bubba Gump and you're Jumbo Shrimp.
That's me.
Yeah. Okay, except I can't run as fast as Forrest Gump right now.
Not anymore.
Duskmourn.
Duskmourn.
10,000 feet. The House of Horrors. Magic's...
Can't even see it because there's a roof over top.
Modern take on Innistrad. Horror, slasher, body horror, cosmic horror. Like, what is it? What do you think it is?
I don't think it actually is Innistrad in any way.
No?
Not in a single way.
Okay.
It was more horror tropey. It was vampires and werewolves and zombies in the Dungeons and Dragons world Ravenloft, where everything was just like horror, classic Hammer horror.
Like Dracula.
Tropes. Exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas this one is more modern horror, I would call it. A lot more of the movies are you're like walking down the video aisle. I'm gonna date myself.
Yeah, okay.
At Blockbuster, you're walking down the DVD aisle looking left and right and you're seeing all the horror titles.
Oh man.
That's Innistrad.
Oh man, you're making me sad on the inside.
And in a way,
playing the Sega Saturn demo and
right?
looking at all the snacks and walking by the new releases and seeing like 600 of the same movie all lined up. You're looking for one copy that's got the VHS behind it still.
Yeah, and they're gone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Moment of silence.
Producer Gary knows that.
He does. He does.
But that's what I think Duskmourn is.
Me too.
It's very much the haunted house and all of. I think that's completely tertiary to the fact that they wanted to take the tropes out of these modern horror movies and staple them onto cards. And I think maybe just because I get so many of the references and stuff, I think for me this set just feels so on the nose.
But this is your set, isn't it?
It is, and it's almost like they gave me too much.
Killing you with kindness.
You know what I mean? Like if you get a bowl of pudding, chocolate pudding.
It's not where I thought this was going, but
it's delicious. And you eat it and you're like, oh man, this is really good. But if they gave you a 4-gallon pail of it and told you had to eat it or you couldn't leave, like in 7, then, you're going to get sick of it. And I feel like that's kind of what happened to me, where I'm like, oh, I recognize that. I know this. I know that. And I was like, oh man, come on, guys. Like, give me something give me a fucking magic card.
I got you.
You know?
This is what I think about that.
Okay.
I'm a butterscotch guy.
That's fair. I like banana.
Okay, well, we got a whole bunch, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and that's not to say that I don't like it. I don't want you to think that I don't like the set.
Yeah, because this is what it sounded like.
It's just the theme of it kind of is less. A lot of the luster's off of it for me, just because there's so much stuff, and I just kind of I don't want to sound like one of those people like I don't want Barney the dinosaur on a magic card. It's just. This is the least magic-y magic set I think I've ever seen. And I've seen Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
And I've seen Fallout and I've seen Doctor Who, but this one to me is like the least magic-y magic set just in terms of flavor. And this is the tipping point for me. I'm like, I think you went a little too far on this one, Watsy.
Do you think it's because they stuck a whole bunch of I'll call it like late model imagery on it? There's walkie-talkies, radios, and TVs, and like technical gadgets?
Only the cheerleader bugged me. And the aliens. We'll talk about the aliens later. Yeah. And the aliens and the cheerleader were ones that were like, baseball bat, sure. The ghost vacuum from Ghostbusters, sure. A literal chainsaw, sure. But like just a cheerleader, And then
Yeah.
the aliens kind of bug me for reasons that go way back to my understanding of what the Magic universe and the multiverse actually is. Where now that they've acknowledged that there is space, well, what's in fucking space?
Eldrazi. Maybe these guys in the
Right?
Eldrazi, like they hang out at like the Cosmic Pub. It's like when we go to the Coachman, but it's full of like Emrakul and aliens. That's kind of what it feels like in
It's
there
full of
sometimes.
eldritch horror creatures and shit. And then the
Oh, hey.
Greys, right?
We would finally be able to ask them, slimy or smooth? Slimy or dry?
I still say they're slimy.
I still say they're dry.
They're slimy as fuck.
Okay, well, I think some of what you're feeling is the result of the type of complaints that people had when Transformers came out during Brothers
Sure.
War, and Assassin's Creed kind of, but Fallout for sure, where it's like, here's this post-apocalyptic or modern setting with modern technology, and there's a lot of like factory-made metal items that have sharp edges.
Yeah.
and they're not rounded. It doesn't feel like classical or traditional high fantasy.
Sure.
I don't get classical, traditional high fantasy from this, but of course that's not what the point is. The point
Yeah.
is to do a different genre.
Yeah, they're trying to do something different.
And of course the opposite is I love that because opposite to you is I love that because it gives the movie nerds and the people who get the pop culture references their own thing, and it demonstrates Magic's like range or breadth and width of ability to showcase all these different styles.
It
right?
really can encompass anything. I think that when we talked about it on the show last week, Gary was really excited. Like, oh, 80s horror, you kidding me? This is so cool.
Yeah, Brando, this set is made for you.
And in a way it is, but it's just a little too heavy-handed is all I'm saying.
Well-
the cards are excellent, and nothing looks bad, feels bad. It's just there's so much of it that I'm like, oh man, I'm sick of discovering things. Just give me this card, right?
I just want to slash some arms off some people.
I want a 1/1 for 4 and a red that's indestructible, and whenever he takes damage, he deals that much damage to target opponent, and I can tap red and 2 and him to have him deal or fight another creature. That's all I want. That's all I want. I know
Maybe one day you'll get that.
that's strangely specific, but Watsy, I would really appreciate if you could make that card happen, because I feel like I would just talk about it all the time. It would become just part of my personality.
Yes. Okay. Well, let's talk about some new abilities. We covered them a little bit on the pre-show, but there's some kooky and weird things.
There are some strange things here, yes.
With rooms, we've got our first ever double or split card permanence.
And these are not like battles where they're their own thing. It's not another card type for Tarmogoyf or Delirium, correct?
Correct. It is a subtype. So it's an enchantment. That's its super type. Its subtype is room. So things that care about rooms entering or rooms being unlocked care about these.
Yes.
And you cast it on one side or the other, and both sides have the same type line. And there's a whole bunch of little subtleties, like with split cards. What is this card's converted mana cost, right?
That is something that I'm actively wondering about, because I now have a deck that specifically cares about how much my enchantments cost. So like, does one half of the card not exist?
Well, I have it right here, actually.
There we go.
While on the battlefield, a room card has the characteristics of its unlocked doors. For example,
Okay.
if only Porcelain Gallery
That's a toilet.
Yep.
That's the
is
bathroom.
unlocked, the permanent's mana value is 6. If both doors are unlocked, the permanent's mana value is 8, because the other room has a mana cost of 2. So 6 and 2 is 8,
So
right?
you add them together.
Similarly, if both doors are unlocked, the permanent has, get this, 2 names. It has 2 names. That's the weird part of it.
Okay.
Okay? Has 2 names. In your library, graveyard, and hand, a room card has the combined mana value of both of its halves and both of its names. So, for example, if an effect allowed you to search your library for a card with a mana value of 3 or less, you couldn't find Dollmaker's Shop and Porcelain Gallery, even if Dollmaker's Shop has a mana value of 2 total, because the mana value of the whole card is 8. So they have a lot of, like I said, little subtleties where Uncle Brando is like starting to smoke at the ears. So when you make your 5-color Enchantress door dot deck, or include these in your Enchantress or enchantment-based decks, make sure you learn those subtle little things, because I'm not going to go into all of the comp rule additions for doors. I think that would just make for too boring of a show.
So if somebody paid 2 to get Dollmaker's Shop,
Yep.
and then I mana drained it, I would get 8 mana.
Whew.
Is that what you're telling me?
No. Because you're casting one side. You're casting the door.
Okay.
You're casting the card that you're casting. If you mana drain it, you get that mana value of the portion of the spell that you're casting.
Okay.
Oh, judges, let us know if we're wrong on that.
Well, not we. I had nothing to do with that shit.
Oh, no, but you're part of Commander Cookout Enterprises. You're here for the fucking ride, boy.
Damn it.
Okay, Manifest Dread, your favorite.
Yeah, we talked about this one on the pre-show.
We did.
And
I didn't bring up something very specifically that I like about this, though.
It's Manifest, but you mill a card. You look at 2, one becomes the 2/2 Manifest creature, the other one goes in the bin.
Yep. And I can do it, or you can do it, depending on who the card says does it.
The card that they're using as an example on the article is Unwanted Remake.
Destroy target creature. Its controller manifests dread. And for you, you get your creature dead. I get your creature dead. Mm-hmm. You get the upside of getting another creature to replace it.
Instead of getting a tapped land or some life,
yep,
you're getting a 2/2 bro.
Because this is an instant for white. This is actually a good card.
And you get, this is an amazing card.
This card is great.
I will open one of these. It's going directly into a card or into a deck instead of the one with the kitten on it. I have one that has a kitten, and I'm going to cut it.
Sure.
Because it does the same thing, but costs white instead of just white.
Yeah, and they can make a really good card that gives the opponent an upside for like a cheap mana cost like this one, or they can give me a Manifest Dread guy and mill me a card if that's what I want, and that's why I put it in my deck. But what I really like, and this is a subtle little thing, we get it sometimes when things like Manifest Dread say face down creature. There's a lot of cares about face down creatures in this set, which makes all of the players who play Morph very happy. And you know that I'm a big-time Animar player, right? And I like to explore all the different kinds of Animar builds, and Animorphs is one of those that gets like significant upgrades because of this set. A lot of the Morph stuff or face-down stuff is in blue and green.
Neat.
Yeah, so it's not something that I like think that everybody cares about, but it does have specific applications where the people who do care about it really freaking care about it.
Oh.
And that makes me happy that people get more shit, like if crabs get printed or advisors.
If that's what people like.
Or 1/1s for 4 that are indestructible that you can pay some mana and have it fight something.
For 5.
Yeah.
Get it right.
Sure.
Yeah.
That card doesn't even exist.
You're probably right.
Yeah. Man, how does it feel to have no identity?
I know.
To be nobody from nowhere with no hometown.
Oh, it sucks, man.
I know. If only there was a card.
If only that card was real. So Manifest Dread, it also exists. It's here. It's fine. Survival's the next one. I like this one. I assume the intent as printed on the card is it survives combat as you tap it to attack. Then you get some benefit because they've survived a trial and something happens. There's a few cards in the set that I think are going to, I don't want to say become problematic, but you can already see is it turn 1? Turn 2, you can get that 4-drop that lets you put permanents from your hand into play for free.
Yeah.
With the Smuggler's Copter and just, right? Like, so there is that too.
Oh, that's a freaking good Is that guy a dinosaur?
No.
I gotta go in my dinosaur vehicles deck.
He's a spirit, and is he enchantment spirit or something?
Yeah, he's like a spirit survivor or something.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell it is, but this is a cool ability. I like this one.
Did you notice that a lot of these, or maybe it's all of them, that have the survival keyword ability? Their creature type is survivor. Yeah. Which is actually important in Magic's history. There are cards that reference survivors on them.
There are.
Maybe those cards will see a price spike. #MTG Finance.
I play them in Terralf.
Oh, yeah.
Because they make survivor tokens.
Yeah, well, maybe you get more survivors for your survivor deck now.
Oh, man, I'm going to get... Oh, man. No, it's because it makes survivor tokens for everybody else.
Donate. Switcheroo.
Then I earthquake them.
Frickin' Reigns of Power. Switch control of all the creatures. Come on.
What is it? The War Rider. Somebody's War Rider.
Varchild's War Riders.
And then actual Varchild, when she dies, you gain control of all survivors.
Yep. Yeah.
So... Watch out.
Come on, you can switcheroo your survivors and then gain control of them again. No, fucking powerful magic. Welcome to CCO Nation, everybody. Next up, Eerie. That's Enchantress bullshit.
Yeah, enchantment comes into play, do a thing, and do another thing.
Sure. Very notably, though, enchantment you control enters the battlefield.
Yes.
The last time we saw that was Constellation in Theros.
Yep.
And the one that's like draw a card, get a +1/+1 counter on it. Man,
Pretty good.
freaking really good.
That's pretty good.
Really good, because you don't got to cast it. You can just like replenish it into play. Like when your graveyard's full, because I don't know, you're playing Duskmourn, you cast Replenish. And I know it's an $80 card, but
Well, there's new Replenish now, right? There's
Replenish.
it's like 10 mana.
But you know what I'm saying.
you know, I sure do.
I'm going to replenish all these. They're all ETB, and I'm going to draw 15 cards.
Yep.
That's pretty freaking good.
Yep.
Impending.
I like Impending.
This is Enchantress's Suspend. There it is. Yeah.
Thing comes into play with some time counters on it. We talked about this again on the pre-show. You want a full rundown on how this works. So you get the benefit of the permanent coming into play. They all have one of those. And then after a certain number of turns, they will become a creature, usually a sizable beater of some kind, that then replicates its effect each time it attacks.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah. So those are the abilities. I think where they will be accepted, or where people like them, people will really like them.
One thing I think about this set that I do appreciate, just based again on my own interpretation of how the new mechanics it's introducing, the only really, really new thing that's coming in is the doors. So you'll have the door deck that is then left over from the set. But I feel like everything else here kind of just finds a way into other people's decks. Animorphs is a good example of that, right? You're just going to attacky decks that want their creatures to be tapped after combat.
Yep.
Right? You're going to see lots of that kind of stuff. And I do dig that, where it's not giving you a whole bunch of stuff that you're just never, ever going to see interacted with again. There's not a lot of energy and type mechanics in this set, which I really appreciate. What are we looking at?
I'm looking up because I wanted to ask you about collecting Duskmourn.
Oh my God.
And you don't got to go all the way into it, but I know that you like to find out where to get specific printings of cards, because as we all know, Uncle Brando aggressively foils his deck and usually does that on the back of procuring a box of collector booster packs from a one store that he gets a discount by using CCO Summer promo code. And then he trades them back in for store credit, which is fantastic for stores. If you can do that,
Yeah.
because you can turn it into free Magic cards after a while of doing it.
Don't have chaff in your house. Just take it to the store.
Yeah.
And help stock their shelves. It's good for them, especially on release time. And then you can usually turn it into the singles that you actually want. Or if you get really lucky, you can turn it into like more boxes off of the back of not very many dollars, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Again, hashtag MTG Finance. Listen to us go.
Yeah. And actually, before we get into too much of this,
Sure.
this set has a ton of extra stuff. There's like double exposure cards, and there's the TV frame cards, and there's the raised foils, and the Japanese anime cards, and the not confetti foils, but like the cracked up crackhead foils, whatever the hell those are called. There's special guests.
There's Japanese showcase or Japan showcase ones that have like different arts. They kind of look like Pokemon.
Yeah,
They kind of do.
So there's so many different things, but WotC has had mercy on us.
Oh.
For this particular set, you can get everything everywhere with the exception of the raised foils and the anime cards. Everything else will show up in both boosters, your play booster and your collector booster. So if there's a card that you just, I want this card, you have an opportunity to open it everywhere, with the obvious exception of like the extended art cards and that kind of thing.
Yeah, you want a card with this name on it, you can get this name of this card anywhere. And they do this so they can put the cards that people want the most in the least number of packs to keep the expected value of the pack high, right?
Yes.
The EV. If I can expect to get a raised foil Japanese alternate art card in a collector pack, and that card is worth $1,000, that's going to keep the price of that pack high for people who care about that. People who like to collect sealed product, people who like to sell sealed product en masse, like stores and online retailers. But doing us a service in putting that same card in its regular formats, regular foil, regular printing, whatever, in every other pack is good for all of the other Joe Blows, Joe Schmoes, and Jane Does who want to just open
I just
the card.
want a goddamn chainsaw. It doesn't have to be the fucking background from Earthbound with a zombie meddling out with a chainsaw getting hit by lightning. Like, we don't need that one. I just want the one with the goddamn chainsaw on it.
Do you, okay, now, getting into it.
Okay, now we can get into it.
Getting into it. What of these do you like the most?
I like all of them.
Okay,
actually.
so double exposure cards. These are the ones that are like mostly just two colors and they look like photo negatives, right? Like the purple and the yellows.
I like these lots. I want to see them in foil before I totally judge them.
Oh,
I think
bro, they're
that's
going to
what-
look so freaking good.
I think that's where they're really going to stand out. I think those are really cool. I like that they're like duochromatic or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Those are the ones where your textured foil comes into play. There's going to be some rare textured foils of those.
Ooh, the Valgavath or whatever his name is with all like his textured wing look. Oh man, alive! I don't want to mention too many cards on this show, so editor Joe doesn't like.
They start shooting.
Yeah,
But they're cool. They're very neat. And then the Japanese showcase ones, they're all cards that you can get elsewhere. These ones look really cool.
have you seen the foils of these?
I have only seen a couple of like, I think they might have just been computer renderings of the crackhead foil. They're like all
Like they got
glittery on
confetti foil on the borders. They look like freaking Pokemon cards.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about these.
If there was a red one that went in Norn, I would really want one.
Dude, if you open one in a collector boosty though, you got a box yet for a BBO?
I do. I have one on the way. We're ready to go. I've been telling Gary for the last little while. I got plans. I got a storyboard with a little stick man. There's one stick man. It's me. But
You're just getting stabbed to death by a booster box.
I want like reminders of all the funny things I think I can do. But I'm excited for this one. I just got to get my ass in gear before it snows so that I can get it done.
Oh, hey,
I don't want to be rolling in the
you
snow.
just reminded me of something actually that I didn't have a note for. Maybe I did and forgot. I know. Here's the thing. I know that it's September. Okay, I know that it's September, but I'm open for altered art card commissions, and everybody knows that I book a month or 6 weeks in advance, and I don't want people coming to me in December saying, I need you to paint this card for a Christmas present, because you know that that's not going to happen. 8 fucking years of this, people. You got to book in now or in the next month to get your Christmas present alters in.
Examples every Thursday on our Facebook page. Want to learn how to do it yourself because Ryan doesn't have time because you waited too long? Buy the book.
Ooh, good sales pitch.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I was going to say, I haven't had a whole ton of time to work lately, or I've been physically incapable of doing it because sitting for a long time hurt my frickin' legs so bad. So if you'd like to buy the book and learn how to do it yourself, it's on the website, commandercookout.com. Make me feel real frickin' good if you did too. And if you like supporting us, then you would do that.
There you go.
Okay.
Anime stuff. Let's get
Pokemon cards.
Pokemon cards, they're fine. These are my favorite.
These ones.
They're my favorites. Those are like the reflection monster coming to get you cards. There's the one where it's like the iris of the dude's eye and the monster's coming to get him. Yeah. This one's like he's holding up a knife trying to protect himself and the monster's coming down to like rip him
Who
apart.
protects himself with a knife like that?
Who
does that?
Well, somebody who's really scared, man. But these are super cool. I love these cards. They're so
This
awesome.
monster's coming to get me, and the only shield I have is a knife. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
You could use the knife on the creature.
Look at that thing.
Guy's got an equipment right in his hand, and he's using it wrong.
He's got a testicle for a chest. A chesticle.
Chesticle. You beat me to it.
Right?
Damn it, Brando.
I know. Hauntwood Shrieker is the super duper art. I'll name cards. I ain't afraid of Joe.
Yeah. Yeah. What's he going to do? Throw a frisbee from Winnipeg to here and hit you right in the head?
Probably can't even do it.
He probably could, actually.
I'd like to see him try.
He'd get one of his drivers. Okay, and then we've got these
These are the
paranormal frames. It's like you're looking through.
They're the television. That's how this is how the set's telling you there are movie references and television references in the set.
Is that what it is? I'm not looking through like a paranormal investigator's weird camera. That's
a television.
It's a TV.
That's a television for sure.
And we get a bunch of different movie references on these ones.
And there's
right?
lots of like 80s stuff. I kind of, if Gary could see the chainsaw one, like it actually, I think it is the final boss from Earthbound. If you've ever seen the final boss from Earthbound, like it's pretty cool. There's some neat cards, and they look really cool.
And they're very close to being RGB, like if you were to stretch out like a VCR tape so you can see all three different colors. And I very much enjoy the aesthetic of them.
Yep.
And I wish with acrylics on this scale, I could develop a technique to do it that doesn't involve like multiple stencils multiple stencils or rollers. And this kind of paint all needs to be undercoated in white if you're doing it with acrylics. I wish I could find a way to do it and kind of replicate these, but across like the whole card. I'm sure I could do it.
But the time is intensive labor.
And none of these are cards that I very distinctly want to build or reprints of commanders I already have. But we're not talking about commanders today. So
that's next week. Now there's one other class. There's two other classifications.
Oh
of
man,
cards
look at how cool that is.
that are important. Yeah, I need one of those.
Look at how cool they are, man. Look at this, so good.
They're dope.
You guys don't get to see.
You will see. We'll show you.
Show you next week.
We'll talk about cards next week. But we've got there's this special guest cards. Those are the 10 like random reprints that are only they're what do you call them? You can play them in sealed and you can play them in EDH, I guess, or any other set where they're
but they're not
legal.
standard legal
Not
or whatever.
standard legal. This is a good spread of them. I think they did a pretty good job and a good selection of cards this year. And this is important. Do you remember the All Will Be Wundle?
I do.
Because there's
the white Phyrexian bundle with the white click down thing that was really hard to get, right?
And it had that special mystery booster pack that had like 2 of the 14 special raised complete foils.
Yeah, the 2 like ink blot lands, or you got like a card and a basic, right?
Well, no, you got 2 mythic rares that were done in this like crazy, virtually unseeable art. And those make a comeback.
Yeah.
Those make a comeback here, except I think they did it a little bit, again, a little nicer to us, the players who may want to collect them. And there's 2 slots in each pack.
Okay.
And there's 3 cards that could be in each slot. And so you'll randomly get 1 movie poster and 1 just extended art card of the available ones. And there's some neat reprints. So there's a Living Death. There's a Crypt Ghast. There's a couple other cards.
Isn't there a Blood Moon? Is there a Blood Moon?
No, that's a secret lair that's coming out.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
So that's pretty cool, too. So if you have found not an All Will Be Wundle, I haven't quite come up with what a Dusk Bundle? A Dusk Bundle, I guess. If you can find one of those in your LGS or Fusion or wherever you buy your cards.
This is a special bundle?
Yes.
Can I get a normal bundle?
Yes. There's normal bundles and special bundles. The reason I like this bundle is because the box looks like a television.
Oh,
so I wanted one.
Yes. I saw one on Fusion. I was laying in bed because that's all I've done for the last 3 weeks. And I showed Rebecca. I was like, "Oh, look at they've made a TV box bundle." Yeah, and she was like, "You're so lame." Yeah.
But those are pretty cool. But if those 6 cards, they all have the commander set symbol on them. And so I saw a lot of confusion. Like, where the hell do you get these? What decks are
Commander sets? Oh, like
the butterfly with the diamond behind it?
Yes. Not the regular butterfly. It's the butterfly with the thing behind it.
So those aren't in packs at all. Those aren't in Commander decks at all. You can only get those in the Dusk Bundle, much like the raised oil slick foils from the All Will Be Wundle last year. So just be aware of those. I don't think these ones are going to command the obscene prices because the cards aren't as good, but we'll see where that goes. But I think that's where you can get all of the different things in the set. I think. I hope. Because there's so many different things. And then there's another one where like there's little hands and shadows and stuff drawn on the back of the cards. I haven't quite figured out.
Oh, yeah. If Super Smash Bros. Was a freaking Magic set like that.
Well, no, more subtle. More subtle, Ryan.
Oh man, you know what? There's a card that cares about how much of a discount you get on stuff that you cast for free.
Oh man, that card is gonna just because it's black.
Oh man,
and you know what?
I don't even remember what card that is, but
you know what else is black, Ryan?
What is
Bolas's Citadel.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking all the free counter spells that you could play and like Deadly Rollick and Deflecting Swat and everything from masks that's like, oh, return this mountain to your hand. Or if you control a forest, I can play this for free. I was thinking all of those.
Oh, no.
I'm also thinking of the new cycle of ley lines in this set. When do we get to the point, because you know that we've done the no land deck, we've done the all land deck. When do we get to the point where CCO just does everything in the frickin' deck is free and nothing costs any mana? Can we do that yet? Send us a list, somebody. I'm willing to do it, and I would build that deck.
I bet we probably could do it now. I'll bet we could. It wouldn't be good, but we could do it.
And here's the caveat. And usually when I put stuff like this as riders, you tell me the answer is no. But if we cast a card and it goes mana positive, like a Pyretic Ritual or like a Dark Ritual, do those count?
No.
Oh, fuck.
No.
Okay.
No, they have to be free.
Free, like ley lines, and if you control your commander, it's free.
Yeah. Oh, you got any pre-game actions? Yeah, I do.
You have my whole hand. How many cards do you have in your hand? Zero.
Zero.
What turn is it? 1. What is this, vintage?
Yeah. And one of the cards in play is a land. It taps for a mana of any color.
Oh, man.
Yep.
So good. So
Insanity.
good. So, do you feel any better about Duskmourn?
I feel the same way.
Okay.
But I'm excited to get my hands on some of the specific cards in the set. There's some really cool stuff here. Mm-hmm. I think a little preview for next week. I do think there might be another mono red deck being added to the rotation.
Whoa.
Oh, mama. No red deck left behind just became a whole thing.
But how are we doing on time there, Producer Gary?
We are at 40 minutes, boys.
40 minutes. Okay, perfect. I have a couple things.
Okay.
Strengths and weaknesses.
What?
Yeah, typically we don't do this when we're talking about a set.
This is new.
But hey, man, I'm into this set. I had some extra time.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
So, strength. Top-down design.
They always do top-down design.
But they don't really. They don't. There's a theme, but compare something like Ravnica, which is like, we know what Ravnica is, and they give us stuff that fits into how Ravnica is.
Yeah.
Versus Innistrad, where it's like, we had this idea or this concept, and we built everything to fit into this concept, right?
Okay, sure.
True top-down, always a hit with players.
True.
And I think this feels kind of like the kind of set that is evocative looking and interesting enough looking where people are going to say, hey, what's that thing? What's that thing on the shelf there? And the LGS owner is going to say, that's the newest Magic set. It's called Duskmourn. It's all about like horror, and it's like Magic's modern take on the horror trope or the horror genre in set form. Lots of people really like it. I think that that's going to be the vibe of this set.
I hope so.
I hope so.
That would be nice. I would like that too.
Okay.
Strength. Yeah.
New twist on a few things that we really love. Like Morph and Enchantress and very radical looking showcases for those who do like that.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. I knew that you like that.
Yeah, I like cards that don't look like Magic cards. That is true.
Yep. And again, this might be the set. I'm not ready to commit yet, but it might be the set that does make me build a Morph deck.
You think?
Would
you do it out of Animar? Just have 2 Animar decks?
I don't know, because there are specific Morph commanders, right? Like Kadena?
But they're not as good as Animar.
Well, no, when you put it that way.
Yeah.
I'd
be second best in anything, Ryan.
I suppose, yeah.
I say you build Animorphs and play it in the CEDH.
Animorphs. And then I have a second Animar deck where I paint every card to make it look like the Animorph book covers where it's those kids that change into animals. Yeah. And the funniest one where they're half kid, half animal is always the funniest one.
Yes.
The guy with the duck beak.
Yep.
Yeah, super funny.
No Animar deck left behind, baby.
The cover had a thing cut out, so it like showed the animal on the inside cover or whatever. Remember that?
I do.
Scholastic book orders. Did they have those in the United States?
I don't know. Probably.
They probably had some kind of book. You ever roll into the book order with like $20 bill and be like, yeah, fuck, I'm gonna buy 2 Lamborghini posters, a pack of pencils with Batman symbols on them, and like an I Spy book, bitches. What do you guys got?
No, I never did that.
I didn't either. But you could tell I fantasized about doing it.
Yeah, you wanted to.
Fuck yeah, I did. Yeah, Lamborghini Countach, baby. Okay.
I even know what that is. Weaknesses.
Did they spread themselves too thin and try to like get a little bit of coverage and be a jack of all trades, master of none?
Yes.
And did they do that like from a tropey kind of top-down design standpoint?
Yes.
Or did they try to fit too many abilities and kind of a diversity of stuff?
And they tried to put too much, look over here, look over here, look over here, look over here, and it took away from what the story of it was trying to be and the theme of it was trying to be, and it ended up just kind of being a mess of references. It's the Big Bang Theory of top-down design, where they just reference something and that stands in the Big Bang Theory comedy, where they go, "Don't you know the Flash?" And then in this set, it's like, "Don't you know Children of the Corn, bro?" And it's like, "Oh yeah, that." I get it.
That does make sense.
I
Wait
think
until we get the Magic sitcom set, hey?
Holy flying goddamn! I will shit in
Brando's
the toilet and clean it up and wash my hands and then do the show and talk about how much I hate it. That's what I'll do. Yeah, as soon as we see Rachel on the couch, I'll be like, "Get out of here, Rachel on the couch," because you know that card's gonna be so broken. It'll probably be like what? Red 4 indestructible 1/1, probably a goblin.
You think Rachel Green's a red card?
Well, it probably would be.
What if Rachel Green was a 1/1 with indestructible
Okay.
and could tap to fight another creature, and whenever it took damage, dealt that much damage to an opponent?
I would play it. I would.
If only.
I know, if only a card like that could exist, so
Yeah.
I don't have to get Rachel Green the card.
Okay, good. Well, topic penetration is what I call it, right? And you feel as though they didn't, they skimmed instead of
They jumped off
instead of penetrated.
They jumped off a really tall building, and as they were going down, instead of making themselves all pointies that they could use the force to drive themselves into the ground, they did a belly flop and just smushed themselves over the sidewalk.
Oh, smushed themselves into a pancake, but it was a mile wide.
Yeah, it's real big, real thin pancake, but real big, so it gets everything. Everybody's grossed out by it.
Yeah, feels like they're doing too much.
Yeah, that's just my opinion, but
Yeah. You know what? I think if we didn't get a set every month, right?
Yeah.
If we could live with this set for 3 months or 4 months like we used to be able to, you know, like when there was 3 sets plus a core set per year.
yeah.
If we could live with this set for 3 months, that would either solve this problem and let us appreciate this, or make us say something like, "Oh, hey, that's what that's from. I didn't know that movie," or you know, you read an article from whoever on WotC's website that says like Unwanted Remake was actually this designer talking about this movie. Oh, interesting. Now I know the story, right? It would either accomplish that, or, and this is the flip side, is if we lived with it for 4 months, it'd be like, oh, they really did skim, and there's nothing here of any frickin' value.
Yeah, like, can you imagine if we had to live for 3 months with Thunder Junction? Can you imagine that?
Hey man, I said my piece on Thunder Junction. Now we have aliens. I want Cowboys versus Aliens, WotC.
And maybe we'll get that.
It took me 8 years. 8 years. It's been 87 years. Insert Titanic lady meme.
Yep.
For me to get the Cowboy set, and then it was a frickin' train heist.
Yeah, wasn't
Mind
even
you.
a set. It was a train heist story that happened to have cowboy hats.
That's fine. You know what? I wish we had. Maybe Aiden will do like a special edition Christmas Commander Munchies just for me to tell me what the story of Thunder Junction was.
I was actually going to ask him about that because I was thinking about it the other day. I was
Yeah.
like, man, this is so like this set is kind of shallow and it reminds me a lot of Thunder Junction. There's just not a lot. It doesn't feel like there's much here. And I wish I had Aiden back then to explain it to me.
Yeah,
Now I do.
I'm-
because I have an Aiden.
I know. And Aiden is working on the Commander Munchies. That's the shorts on Commander Cookout Media Group YouTube page that's going to tell you all about the magic story. If you have 1 minute a day to learn the magic story, Commander Munchies, how you do it.
Yep.
And I just thought of this. You
Okay.
say it's a house, this other dimensional house. I said it felt a little bit Stephen King, a little 1408, a little bit. You say no. What about 13 Ghosts? Where they walk in? What about the cube? Where it's like, man, you walk in and this place is not what I thought it was.
The cube.
Is there any cube references in Duskmourn?
Oh baby, here we go. Cube to Hypercube. That is what the Duskmourn house is. Because you see all those other things you referenced have an outside world. That when you leave the cube or you leave the house or you escape the 13 ghosts, there's an outside that you get to go to. Duskmourn does not have that. just like in Cube 2 Hypercube, where like the cube was in the 4th dimension, so it kept replicating itself, becoming like bigger and bigger and bigger in its own interdimensional space.
This is like the whole, okay, and this is an Aiden question. The whole world is the house?
Yes. At one point, so what I understand is the people on Duskmourn couldn't use magic. So they had to make deals with like these demonic forces in order to get the power to do magic stuff. And they eventually made a deal with the whatever is the Volgoth or whatever.
Yeah.
And it like possessed this house and became so strong that it just sucked the whole plane inside of it.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
Like it's a neat idea, but the only reason I know that is because I like delved into the internet. There's no card that tells me that. There's a bunch of cards that tell me the opposite of that because there's a bunch of like outside scenes which wouldn't exist because everything's inside the house.
Oh.
How is there a camp outside?
Like, is that a Camp Crystal Lake reference?
Yes.
Okay. Fuck you. See, I'm getting it.
Well
I'm
done.
getting it, man.
Well
I'm
done.
getting it. Well, listen, Commander Munchies is going to tell us everything we need to know. What you're saying is it's not like the 90s YTV show Reboot where that purple cube comes down and they try to escape it because it's a user trying to play a game. It's not like that.
Actually, that's closer than the other stuff that you said.
Oh, frick. Here we go.
Well, no, because the house is a self-contained thing. That's what the house is. It's a self-contained little microcosm universe.
Yes.
Like when you go over the event horizon of a black hole and just everything's in there.
Yeah, man.
That's the house.
This is frickin' Brandology 101, everybody.
That's the house. Everything that was outside is now inside.
Okay.
And like the time and space dynamics and all those
I got
quantum physics, not that kind, but like just everything's in this fucking house.
Give us that set. Give us that set, man.
The
I used to do.
Horizon set?
I used to do like that's. I used to go to school for like real smart stuff like that.
Or anything that ever was or ever will be will all exist at the exact same time in the exact same place at the event horizon of the black hole.
Let's get away from that. I got one final thought of the day.
There should be a card called the Event Horizon. Man, it just blows. It kills everything in play and then just puts your whole library into play.
There should be a card
all
called
players put their libraries into play.
All at Once.
Yes.
Oh man, there should be a card
of all time
called the Black Hole. And it's just a picture of your mother's huge ass. Yes. That is a gift for anybody who's still watching.
And just a fly buzzing really hard to get away, but he can't. He's getting sucked in.
He's getting sucked in so hard. He's got speed lines, but they're going against him.
Oh, that'd be so good.
Because speed lines are totally directional, right?
Absolutely they are. That's Brandology.
I got one final thought of the day before you thank the business daddies and do the outro.
Okay.
I want this.
Okay.
Give me this secret layer or set or whatever. I talked about Reboot.
Yeah.
Give me like the 90s YTV secret layer. Give me the Zone with that TV with his mouth that looks like teeth.
Snit.
Give me...
He's made of bubble gum.
Yes. Give me the Are You Afraid of the Dark secret layer. Ooh, yeah. Like Dr. Vink and Mr. Sardo. Yeah, right? And the Campfire and the Midnight Society. Give me that frickin' secret layer.
That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool.
Give me the 90s nostalgia, like mixtape with the pencil to rewind it and the Blockbuster movie store. Yeah. Give me riding your bikes to get pizza by the slice on like the Monday that you don't have to go to school or early dismissal when your parents aren't home yet. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Give me that secret layer.
I feel like they tried to do it with Stranger Things and we hated it.
And they also tried to give us some nostalgia with the goblins that are on Instagram, but I don't know, man. Blockbuster and Are You Afraid of the Dark, that hits a little bit different. Give me the McDonald's with the frickin' burger chairs and Grimace and all of like
Mayor McCheese.
Yeah, and the Hamburglar.
Yep.
Yeah. Man. Anyways, final thoughts of the day.
Hang on a second. Did they have Are You Afraid of the Dark in America?
Yes. I've asked this question before, I think, on CCO.
Oh, shit. Okay, answer it again in the comments.
Please do.
I'm very curious because I like that show. Mm-hmm. You can watch them all on YouTube if you've never heard of it.
Yeah.
It is on there for free. So, final thought. That is our top-down, 10,000-foot overview of Duskmourn. We're going to be back next week. We're going to talk about some legends. We're going to talk about some cards. We're going to talk about some frickin' commander decks once those get more spoiled because, I mean, they're totally spoiled now being Tuesday,
the next of week.
September 17th, because we're totally not recording before that for any reason.
Nope.
So all of those things are true. But we're going to be back to review some of that stuff. Thank you very much to FusionGamingOnline.com, the official business daddies of Commander Cookout Podcast. Thank you so much for the Duff and Avenue Media Group and for producer Gary for filling in for the show for the last couple of weeks and for hanging out with us tonight. And thank you very much for listening. Commander Cookout, CCO Podcast on Patreon. If you can support the channel and help it grow, we really appreciate it a lot. And we are going to be back to scare the crap out of you on a very spooky special edition of Commander. Keep going. Of Commander Cookout Podcast. Hit our theme song!